Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Betting Insights. I'm Timothy, of course. I'm joined by Sergio. Sergio, welcome.
Hey Tim. Hey everybody. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. Be sure to smash the like button. And if you're new to the show, be sure to subscribe. Now, we are going to do a quick recap of last week. Now, last week overall was a good week. Now, best bets for me, not great, but overall it was a good week. I just want to zoom in on the games. Let's start Saturday. Like almost every home team won. Starting with the Premier League. Um, Newcastle Arsenal was the first game on the schedule. Newcastle home team won. Even Bournemouth won against City. In the Premier League, there was no road team that won. If you go to the Bundesliga, only one road team won. And in the Eredivisie, only one road team won. That was Twente, obviously a heavy favorite against Willem II.
Yes.
And then if you go Serie A, okay, there you got like two road favorites, big favorites, Juventus and AC Milan. Those were kind of predictable. But then again, La Liga, two games, both home teams won. And I say that just to say, like, usually if you're not sure about a bet, going with the home team, or usually the safer bet, right?
Yes, and what happened last week doesn't happen a lot. You know that almost all the home teams winning. So
No, not all the home teams winning, but usually the home teams win more than the road teams. Like if you overall,
yes, overall that's true. But
yeah.
what happened last weekend won't happen this weekend. Let's say, for instance. So,
Yeah, but I'm just saying that to say that because even if good teams go on the road, they have trouble. You know, City went on the road, Arsenal went on the road, they still had trouble. Juventus sneaked out a win. AC Milan was also kind of close. So even when good teams go on the road, they have trouble. So that's why we just like to back
the
home
home
teams,
teams.
yeah, a little bit more than road teams. Nonetheless, let's get started with picks for this weekend. As you know, we are giving out picks for five different club competitions across Europe: Serie A, La Liga, Premier League, Eredivisie, and the Bundesliga. Today we are starting with La Liga. First game on the schedule: Real Madrid hosting Osasuna. Real Madrid wins set at 1.22. Osasuna wins set at 15. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, I'm looking at the over 3.5 here. I also like Real Madrid halftime, full time. I just think playing at home, disappointing loss in midweek. You just have to bounce back here. You see how Real Madrid's playing. It comes back to bite them sometimes, especially against a team like AC Milan. If you're playing against good teams, it might come back to bite you. But coming from a loss at home, now you're at home again hosting Osasuna. They just have to be mad right here.
Yeah, but AC Milan winning was actually a surprise because AC Milan isn't that good in Italy. So for me, it was a surprise for AC Milan winning in Bernabeu after they lost against Barcelona. So yeah, the two losses in a row and yeah, really hurtful losses. So against Osasuna, they have to come back at home also. So I'm looking more at the over 3.5. I think they're gonna wanna prove something. So
Yeah, they're gonna want to make a statement, and
yes.
that's why I think halftime they should score at least once, maybe twice, and they should be up. So I like the halftime, full time Real Madrid. All right. Next up, Villarreal hosting Alaves. Villarreal wins set at 1.65. Alaves wins set at 5.5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, this is a game where I like the over 2.5. I think Villarreal will win, but if you look at Villarreal, the defense, they still have issues, man. They scored 20 goals, allowed 19. So they basically allow a goal in every game, even if they win. Almost two goals a game, sorry. Alaves coming off back-to-back wins, but one was on the road against Compostela. Uh, I'm not sure we should count the Copa del Rey wins, the cup wins for any league. But then
No,
they won
let's
again.
not count those.
let's not let's not count that. If you don't count that one, that was their first win in 7 games against Mallorca. Not a team that scores a lot, but I do think they can get a goal here against Villarreal. I think Villarreal will win, so I'm looking at the over 2.5. But I also think Villarreal will win. Which way are you going here?
I'm also looking at the over 2.5. Yeah, the last two games they played against each other ended in a 1-1 draw, and all the games before those two were over 2.5. So let's hope they score a lot again this game.
Yeah,
So
that trend should continue, I think.
uh,
I agree with you. All right. Next up, it would be Espanyol hosting Valencia, but that game got canceled for obvious reasons. So next up, Leganes hosting Sevilla. Leganes win set at 2.95. Sevilla win set at 2.85. Line for total goal set at 1.5. So not expecting a lot of goals here. I'm also not expecting a lot of goals. These are two teams that both average exactly one goal a game. So now, if you do the math, it should be a 1-1 draw. I'm leaning towards Sevilla, but I'm not sure I'm backing them on the road. Are you doing something here?
yeah, I'm gonna back them on the road against Leganes. I'll try it. I know it's still it's still Sofia, and they're not doing it. They're not doing that good. So, but let's say Sofia, I think they're in a better. Um, they're playing better these last few games. I mean, yeah, they lost against Sociedad, but that can happen. But I still think against Espanyol, it was also an away game that they won. Let's say that Leganes is a little bit easier.
Yeah, I do think they're better than Leganes. I think it should be an easier tax than winning against Espanyol on the road. Um, Still, it's on the road, so not sure, but like I said, I'm leaning towards Sofia. I would rather play a double chance for Sofia that you get a slightly lower odd, not slightly, a lower odd,
Yeah.
but that would be the safer play for me, just taking Sofia a double chance. All right. Next up, Real Betis hosting Celta. Betis win set at 2.04. Celta win set at 4. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, I like Betis here, especially given they're at home. They had a rough stretch, but now they've kind of been picking up their good form again. They're undefeated in 6 games, coming off a home win in European competition against Celje. Not a great team, obviously, but still good for their confidence. So they're on a good streak. Celta won Monday against Getafe. They now have won 3 games over the last 5. But if you look at Celta on the road, not great. So I'm just gonna have to back Betis here. Which way are you going?
Yeah, backing Betis is a obvious way to go. They're playing at home. Yeah, much better form. Um, like you said, they haven't lost in six, just two draws, I think, and 4 wins. So yeah, it's much better or a better option just to go for Real Betis here.
Yeah, and
The over 2.5 also interesting, but a win for Betis I think will happen.
yeah, and Celta, they're in the top 10. They're doing solid, but they still have a -2 goal difference, so that also says something.
Mm.
All
No, yeah.
right. Next up, Mallorca hosting Atletico Madrid. Mallorca wins set at 3.85. Atletico Madrid wins set at 2.25. Line for total goals 2.5, but over 2.5 set at 2.7. Under 2.5 is set at 1.47. So books are kind of expecting the under 2.5, and I'm also expecting the under 2.5. I don't think we'll see a lot of goals here. Mallorca, they average less than a goal a game, and if you know Atletico, they don't want you to score. So I don't think Mallorca scores in this game. I'm gonna back Atletico for a win. They had a rough stretch, but now 3 straight wins and a good win over PSG in the Champions League. So I look for them to keep that up here and win against Mallorca. Which way are you going here?
Yeah, the win against PSG was at home. It at Paris. Yeah, that was also a surprise. Champions League win.
I don't think it was that surprising. Now Party was favorite, but Paris, they don't have great players at the moment. So I know it was in Paris was playing at home, but still,
And also, yeah, but Atletico Madrid's form wasn't that
that's true. That's
good.
true.
That's why I thought, yeah, it would be very difficult for Atletico Madrid, but it seemed to be, yeah, a little bit easier than I thought. But I agree with you. Also, Atletico Madrid win. I'll just go for the win. Over 2.5. They don't score a lot, but maybe this game it can happen. Because if Mallorca scores out of nowhere, yeah, the Atletico Madrid has to score 2 times. So uh, I'm going for a win, but over 2.5 is maybe something to look at also.
It's something to look at, but not not the safest play. Mallorca has scored 1 goal in the last 3 games, and so I think Atletico can lock them down and make sure they don't score in this game. And then you're really relying on Atletico Madrid to score 3 goals, which I have a hard time seeing happening. So the safer play is just taking Atletico Madrid for a win, or you can look at Atletico Madrid over 1.5 goals. That gives you a higher odd at 2.55. So that's even higher than picking Atletico Madrid for a win. So if you're expecting goals, go for Atletico Madrid over 1.5 goals. All right, next up, Getafe hosting Girona. Getafe wins set at 2.5. Girona wins set at 3.1. Another game, total goals 1.5. So not expecting a lot of goals. And listen, man, if you've been watching Girona, especially on the road, not a great team. They just got smashed by PSV. Now, PSV is a good team in the Eredivisie, but still 4-0. So that was kind of embarrassing. Getafe not been doing great, but at home, they're still undefeated in 6, although only 1 win. On the other hand, Girona, they're just awful on the road. Um, like we said, we're not gonna count the Copa del Rey wins, right? Because they have a 4-0 win against Extremadura.
Yeah, that would.
We're not counting that one, all right?
I
If we
don't
don't,
think those are pros even. So
yeah. So if we don't count that one, they have 1 win on the road against Sevilla, and that was back on September 1st. Since then, only 1 point on the road, just a draw. Every other game they've lost. So I'm leaning towards Getafe here. I think playing Getafe for a double chance is the safest play. If you want to go wild, just pick Getafe for a win. But Girona's not winning this game. Which way are you going?
I think I agree, but I'm looking more at the draw. So there's a that can happen in this game definitely because Girona, I don't know, look against PSV, yeah, they got beaten, but still, I think that in the first half they had a few good chances to score, but they just didn't. So I think that decided their fate that game. Not finishing their chances. So um, I I think against Getafe it won't be easy, but I don't think they will lose this game. So uh, I'm I'm looking more at the draw or a double chance Girona. I think that's a better option.
I would play. I would rather play double chance Getafe. I like Getafe. Oh, Getafe has Getafe's the favorite here, right? And no, that doesn't mean they will win, but it's for a reason. Like I said, Girona's been awful on the road, and Getafe they don't win at home, but they also don't lose. So double chance Getafe, I think is the safer play here. But I think we're both heavily leaning towards a draw, and um, that's the most possible outcome.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Valladolid hosting Athletic Bilbao. Valladolid wins set at 4.9. Bilbao wins set at 1.82. Line for total goals set at 1.5. Now, the only reason I can think this is set at 1.5 is because they don't expect Valladolid to score in this game, right? And listen, Valladolid, not a great team. They scored 9 goals in 12 games, so average less than a goal a game. Atletico Bilbao is coming off a road game in midweek, so that spells some trouble, and they have been kind of shaky on the road, but still undefeated in the last 5 games, 3 wins, 2 draws. I'm leaning towards an Bilbao here. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I'm also leaning towards Bilbao. Actually, I just think Bilbao is gonna win this game against yeah, Valladolid. I know it's on the road, but this weekend I think a few more road teams will win. So and Atletico Bilbao is one of them. Athletic Bilbao is one of them.
Yeah, and um, I like you said, they're playing on the road, but still Atletico Bilbao, not a bad road team. Actually, solid. If you go back to September 1st, they've only lost one road game, so they're solid on the road. Not a team that you should be scared to back on the road. Let me say that. All right, next up, Sociedad hosting Barcelona. Sociedad wins set at 4.5. Barcelona wins set at 1.75. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, now we can say a lot about this game and the history of these two teams matching up against each other, but this is just a different Barcelona team that's just red hot, on fire. I'm not sure how you're fading them, so picking Barcelona is obvious is the only play I'm looking at here. Which way are you going?
Yeah, yeah, I think I agree, but you know yeah, I think they haven't lost in seven or eight games. They won
Yeah, 7 games. Yeah.
yeah, seven straight wins. Yeah, so I would just go for Barcelona, but you know, away Real Sociedad, yeah, not one of the easiest opponents, especially not for okay, Barcelona won the last six games they played against each other, they won five. So yeah, so it's still not a difficult game for Barcelona if you look at the stats. But winning seven in a row, yeah, that's a streak. So
Yeah, this is streak. I think they'll keep it up here. Listen, Barcelona has lost 2 games on the season, right? One against Monaco, one just I think a fluky against Osasuna. Against Monaco, they received a red card in the 11th minute. Now at that point the game was 0-0, nothing. So and they still managed to score after that, lost 2-1. The game they lost against Osasuna, like I said, kind of fluky, lost 4-2, but they still managed to score 2 goals. Every other game, obviously the last 7 they've won, they've scored at least 3 times. Now, Sociedad, on the other hand, they can't score. They can't score. They have a lot of ball possession, a lot of shots, but they just can't score. And if you're going to beat Barcelona, at least this season, you're going to have to score. And I can't see Sociedad keeping up with Barcelona. They're going to have to score at least twice, maybe 3 times if they want to win this game. I'm not sure they're doing that. Actually, I'm positive they're not doing that. So just give me Barcelona for a win.
yeah, yeah, I think you just um, won me over to
All right. Now
that's
that wraps up La Liga. Let's get to the Bundesliga. First game, St. Pauli hosting Bayern Munich. St. Pauli wins set at 10.5. Bayern Munich wins set at 1.26. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, with such a low odd for Bayern Munich, 1.26, the only thing you want to look at is the total goals. Are you going under or over here?
I'll go for over. Yeah, against St. Pauli, I'll take that risk. Um, Bayern, they score a lot again, 4 straight wins. Yeah, against Benfica, I think was the only game that they just scored
Yeah,
one.
they scored one goal.
Yeah,
Every other game they had scored at least 3 times. And against an Union team, sorry to cut you off, but against an Union team that actually defends pretty well, they managed to score 3 times. So against St. Pauli, they should score at least 4 times, right?
yeah, yeah. So that's why I will just go for the over 3.5 here.
All right. Kind of agree with you here.
Oh.
Although it's a big number, I hate going over on big numbers, but no way I'm seeing this going under 3.5. All right. Next up, Bochum hosting Leverkusen. Bochum wins set at 10.5. Leverkusen wins set at 1.28. Line for total goals set at 3.5 again. This is another game where I'm not sure I'm taking the over 3.5. Now, Leverkusen, team that then actually scores a lot, but they've been on a rough stretch. Just got smashed by Liverpool 4-0. Before that, they were kept scoreless in a 0-0 draw against Stuttgart. Very on Leverkusen like. So I think this is a bounce back spot for them, just like Real Madrid. They have something to prove. So Leverkusen, another game where I'm gonna take Leverkusen halftime, full time, odds set at 1.74. Which way are you going here?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on this one because yeah, they haven't been that good this season, yeah, till now. So yeah, I think they'll win, but the odds a little bit too low. But I'm not gonna do the halftime full time. I'm just gonna skip this game. They'll win, but maybe just scoring in one half.
And they're gonna score in the first half. They're like I said, they have something to prove. They're mad. And listen, losing against Liverpool is not a shame. Liverpool's just they're a great team, but they have been shaky. And when these teams, when they meet a bad team, like that's the time for them to take their take their frustration. So, meeting Bochum, perfect spot, perfect opponent. Give me Leverkusen halftime, full time. All right. Next up, Mainz hosting Dortmund. Mainz win set at 3.65. Dortmund win set at 2.05. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, Dortmund back-to-back wins after a rough stretch where they had 3 straight losses and actually 4 losses in 5 games. Um, I like the I like both teams to score here, but the odds very low at 1.5. I'm leaning towards Dortmund for a win. The reason I think both teams will score is just Dortmund just can't keep clean sheets. I know they won nothing against Sturm Graz in midweek, but that was their first clean sheet since the 31st of August. So I think both teams will score here. Maybe combine that both teams to score with over 2.5 goals. That should give you a good odd. I think if you combine those, you get odd of like yes 1.7. So that's a good odd. I can see that happening here. Leaning towards Dortmund, but still have a hard time backing them on the road. Which way are we going here?
Yeah, no, for me, it's not just a lean. I just think they'll win this game. The over 3.5, a little bit too much, I think. But I will go for the win for Dortmund. I think it's more than a lean for me.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I bumped the over 3.5 down to over 2.5. We take over 2.5 and both teams to score. Now that then puts you on my prediction right around 3 goals, so gets the under 2.5. But I think that's a good play here. I also think Dortmund will win, but mine's at home. Is man still winless, so is a win coming?
Yeah,
No, not
not,
in this game.
not, not against Dortmund, I think.
No, not in this game. All right. Next up, Werder Bremen hosting Kiel. Werder Bremen win set at 1.62. Kiel win set at 5.25. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, I don't like this game. I don't think I'll be betting this game. I don't have that much faith in Werder Bremen, even though they're heavily favored 1.62, and obviously can't trust Kiel either. Which way are you going here?
Yeah, I think you just read my mind. I'm also gonna skip this one. Yeah, actually, yeah, the same problem. I don't trust Werder also, and Kiel, they can surprise maybe, but that's why Werder Bremen, you can't trust them that much.
All right. Next up, Leipzig hosting Gladbach. Leipzig wins set at 1.62. Gladbach wins set at 5.3. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, this was a surprising result for me in midweek. Leipzig losing 3-1 to Celtic. I know it was on the road, but still, surprise for me. Now they come back home, host a Gladbach team that, like I said, we're not going to count the and obviously, we're not counting the cup games and no friendly games. So the Gladbach against Furl, scratch that one off. If you don't look at that one, Gladbach has only won one road game. While Leipzig, they have lost 2 home games, but one against Liverpool. You can't excuse that one. Like I said, Liverpool is just a great team. And the other one, a 3-2 loss against Juventus, who's been somewhat up and down, but still a very good team. So not a bad result. Other than that, they've been great at home, so I can't see a bad Gladbach road team going at Leipzig and winning this game. So which way are you going here?
Yeah, and yeah, Leipzig, yeah, second in the league. Yeah, yeah, you just have to go for Leipzig here. To 163 it's still an interesting one. Combine it with something with a few other games, and yeah, you get something good.
Yeah, and I will say I don't like the over 3.5 goals here. Leipzig has just allowed 5 goals total on the season in the Bundesliga, so not sure we're seeing the over 3.5 goals here. I'm just taking Leipzig for a bit. All right, next up, Augsburg hosting Hoffenheim. Augsburg wins set at 2.17. Hoffenheim wins set at 3.3. Line for the total goal set at 3.5. Now, Augsburg only one loss in the last 5 games. Um, kind of in good form, while Hoffenheim just terrible, man. One win in the last 5, and that was a cup game. So and even that one was at home. Other than that, it's just been awful. So not sure you can back Hoffenheim going on the road here. I'm looking at Augsburg. I like Augsburg in this spot. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I'm also going for Augsburg with here. Um, over 3.5. I think that's still too much. So Hoffenheim, like you said, really, really bad this season. I think last season it was the same, and yeah, they didn't, do anything. I think to get a better team, and yeah, it doesn't pay off. It doesn't pay off this season also. So I'll just go for the Augsburg win.
And to touch back on the 3.5 goals, I understand the line. I actually agree with the line. Augsburg has allowed 20 goals already this season, just in 9 games, and Hoffenheim has allowed 19. So almost 40 goals allowed between these two teams. So we could see this one getting loose and seeing the over 3.5. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities. All right. Next up, Stuttgart hosting Frankfurt. Stuttgart wins set at 1.96. Frankfurt wins set at 3.8. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, Stuttgart, another team that is actually a good team, but back-to-back games where no wins and were kept scoreless, lost 2-0 to Atalanta, but Atalanta also in great form. So actually no shame there. Now you stay at home. You host in Frankfurt. Frankfurt's also been solid this season, but I still think Stuttgart. Obviously, Stuttgart is a very good team, and Stuttgart being kept scoreless doesn't happen too often now, especially in back-to-back games. So the play for me here is Stuttgart over 1.5 goals. They will score at least twice in this game. Which way are you going here?
Yeah, I'm just going for a Stuttgart win. Like you said, they haven't won in two straight. One of them didn't score. They even didn't score. So yeah, well, Frankfurt. They had a good run, but away Stuttgart. Yeah, that's okay. You can ignore that the fact that they're third in the league, but yeah, the points difference with Stuttgart ain't that much. So I'll just go for the Stuttgart win.
Yeah, I agree with you there. All right, next up, Heidenheim hosting Wolfsburg. Heidenheim wins set at 2.85. Wolfsburg wins set at 2.55. Line for Zurgo set at 2.5. Now, last week, obviously, I picked Wolfsburg over 1.5 goals and Wolfsburg to win. Um, there was a draw against Augsburg, but man, they had 70% ball possession, 18 shots. How in the hell you only score 1 goal? I don't get it. Um, so I think Wolfsburg and overall in the season, Wolfsburg has just been playing better than Heidenheim, but have trouble backing them going on the road. Um, so I think I'm skipping this game. What are you doing here?
Yeah, also skip hide the time. You can't. You can't actually. Predict what this team is doing. They play a great game, and after that, a few really bad ones. So yeah, I'm just gonna skip this one also, and the over 2.5. That's maybe possible and maybe the way to go, but I'll just skip this one.
Yeah, and Heidenheim coming off a road game against Hearts in the Conference League. And that was their first win in four. They even lost to Hertha in the cup game. So Heidenheim, not a team you want to back, even though they're playing at home. Um, so if you really want to do something, Wolfsburg is the lean, but just the lean. All right, that wraps up the Bundesliga. Let's get to the Premier League. First game, West Ham hosting Everton. West Ham wins set at 2.23. Everton wins set at 3.65. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, West Ham, very disappointing this season. No, Everton not much better. I know they've only one loss in the last 5 games, but both teams are very disappointing this season. Don't score a lot, so I'm looking at the under 2.5 goals here. Everton has scored just 10 goals in 10 games, so they average like a goal a game. West Ham just over 1 goal a game, but if you watch the games, they have trouble scoring, and you know Everton's gonna sit back and defend in this game. So I think I'm seeing the under 2.5 goals here. Which way are you going?
It's a must win for West Ham this game because if they lose this one, they'll drop to 16 or something. So yeah, that's against Everton at home. It's a must win for them, and Everton just 9 points this season. Not a lot, not playing that well also. So yeah, I think West Ham at home. This should be a win for them. So I'm just going for a West Ham win.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards West Ham. They're the home team. Like you said, they're desperate, but man, what I've seen from them, they have trouble scoring. And like you said, a must win, so they probably will be cautious in this game. I don't think we're seeing too many goals, and Everton just a team that plays very conservative, so they're gonna defend. I'm taking the under 2.5 goals. All right. Next up, Wolves hosting Southampton. Wolves win set at 1.86. Southampton win set at 4.25. Line for the goal set at 2.5. Now, last week I backed Wolves against Crystal Palace. Like I said, they were trending towards a win. Picked up another draw, 2-2 draw. They were up 2-1. Obviously, Wolves, they allow a goal again. So it was a 2-2 draw, but I still think they're trending the right way, right? And if you look at Southampton, especially on the road, this man, Southampton's bad, all right? So Wolves, they have to win. It's a must win. They haven't won yet on the season. So I think I'm going to back Wolves again one more time. They're horrible, yes, I know, but they have to win this game. They're playing at home against an awful road team. If you don't win this game, I'm not sure which game you're winning on the season. So which way are you going here?
Yeah, Wolves is yeah, last in the league, just 3 points. I don't know. I'm not gonna back them. Actually, I'm not gonna bet this game. I just think it will be another draw. Southampton, maybe a little bit confidence with 2 straight wins. Wolves, I think. No, I don't think it will be this game for them because both will be really really cautious because Southampton will actually be the last team in the league if they lose this one. So yeah.
It's like a relegation battle
Yeah,
because it's early in the season,
yeah.
right?
So
Yeah, so
yeah, I think it will be a 0-0 or a 1-1, but no, I don't think this will be a win.
yeah, I still think Wolves will win this game. Like I said, you're playing the team that's 1 point above you, just as bad as you are. Maybe you're a little bit worse. Maybe they're a little bit worse. But if you want to survive relegation, this is a game you have to win because if you lose this game, it's pretty much over. Like you can just pack your bags, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
All right. Next up, Brentford hosting Bournemouth. Brentford wins set at 2.65. Bournemouth wins also sit at 2.65. So probably looking at a draw here. Total goals set at over 2.5. And that's the only play I'm looking at. I know Bournemouth, they're coming off two impressive wins in the last three games and maybe three impressive results, a win against Arsenal, a draw against Villa, and then a win against City. But listen, man, if you look at Bournemouth on the road, only one win on the season. Sorry, yes, only one win on the season. That was against Everton. And if you remember that game, Everton was up 2-0 until the 87-minute mark and just collapsed, and Bournemouth scored 3 goals. So don't think Bournemouth can go on the road and win games, especially against a Brentford team that's undefeated at home, only one draw against West Ham. So the lean is towards Brentford and maybe play a double chance for Brentford and over 1.5 goals. But definitely not backing Bournemouth, even though they won against City. Don't trust them on the road. Which are we going here?
Yeah, Bournemouth, they're flying high at the moment. So I think it will end for them this weekend. I agree. I will just go for a Brentford win. The win against City was very good, impressive. Delivered City, I think, second straight loss. So yeah, that even doesn't happen a lot. So yeah, I'll just go for the Brentford to win it.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Crystal Palace hosting Fulham. Crystal Palace win set at 2.85. Fulham win set at 2.6. Line for total goal set at 2.5. I'm not betting this game. The leans towards Fulham, I think they're slightly better, but Crystal Palace kind of rounding into form, 3 straight games without a loss. Fulham finally won again against Brentford on Monday. And especially with Fulham playing on Monday, now you come again play on Saturday. So the rest advantage goes to Crystal Palace. I'm skipping this game. Or are you doing something?
Yeah, I agree. Two teams that also don't score a lot. So I think a draw is definitely the best possibility here. So yeah, I'm also gonna skip this one. This is definitely one of the games to skip in the league this weekend.
We shouldn't see a lot of goals, and that kind
No.
of speaks to the under 2.5, but low number. But I think the under 2.5 and will hit. Although I'm not betting it. All right. Next up, Brighton hosting City. Brighton win set at 4.5. City win set at 1.77. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now you kind of touched on it. Couple minutes ago, City lost in their second straight game against Bournemouth last week, but then they lost their third straight game in the Champions League. And I can't remember the last time City lost back-to-back games, let alone 3 straight games, let alone 4 straight games. So this is definitely a spot I'm going to back City. 1.77. I know Brighton's been playing well. Don't care. Give me City for a win. They still have Guardiola. Which way are you going here?
Yeah, and KDB's back, so let's hope it's gonna be a turnaround for them. But I think so also. 3 straight losses doesn't happen this year. I can't remember the last time they lost three in a row. But so yeah, I'm just going for the City win also.
And maybe 3 straight losses hasn't even happened under Guardiola.
Yeah, that's a possibility also.
That's very possible. All right. Next up, Liverpool hosting Aston Villa. Liverpool wins set at 1.47. Villa wins set at 6.75. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, just a very high odd and backing in Villa. Also 3 straight losses. But Liverpool's another team where like and kind of look like the Barcelona of La Liga. How can you go against this team, right? And even when Liverpool's not good, playing at Anfield just a tough place to play. They're very hard to beat at home, so you can't go against Liverpool, right?
No, you can't go against Liverpool. Maybe the over 3.5. I think Aston Villa still try their best, of course, to not to go down easy. So I think the over the 3.5 is an option. Yeah, they haven't scored again. They played against Brugge, I think, in the
Yeah,
Champions
yeah.
League. Yeah, yeah, disappointing loss. They I think that they won everything in the Champions League till the game against Brugge. So I think uh, I think they'll score against Liverpool, but Liverpool will still win. So I think I'll go for the over 3.5.
Yeah, and Liverpool, they sometimes blow out teams like they did against Leverkusen, but usually the games are kind of close. Not too many games where they win by more than a 2 goal difference. So, and like I said, Villa 3 straight losses, so they'll do their best to keep this game close, and I can see this being a close game. So, the play I'm kind of looking at is Aston Villa plus 1.25. They should keep it close. They lose by 1 goal, but then your ticket still cashes. So Villa plus 1.25 is the play I'm looking at here. All right. Next up, Tottenham hosting Ipswich. Tottenham wins set at 1.27. Ipswich wins set at 11. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Odd to low backing Tottenham, so not a lot to say in this game. Disappointing loss against Galatasaray, but Galatasaray good team, and they were coming off a 10-day rest, so a bad spot for Tottenham, and Tottenham has been shaky on the road, but now at home against Ipswich, they should win. Not a game I'm betting. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I'm not betting this one also. All too low and over 2.5, over 3.5. I think. Yeah, it's you don't get a lot also. So yeah, I'll just take this one.
All right, next up, Nottingham Forest hosting Newcastle. Forest wins set at 2.75. Newcastle wins set at 2.8. Line for total goal set at 2.5. So almost a pick 'em here. 2.5 kind of sounds like a low number, but uh, two teams that don't allow too many goals. Newcastle just allowed 10 goals. Forest allowed 7 goals. So not sure we're seeing too many goals here. Kind of feel like this will be a draw. Which way are you going here?
I'm going for a forced win. You know, I think it will be four straight for them. Uh, motivation, motivated, third in the league. Newcastle. This is chance for them to at least stay third for one more weekend. So yeah, I'm just going for the Forest win here. The difference in points is a lot. 19 points against 15 points for Newcastle, and Newcastle is 11th in the league. So yeah, I think for Forest staying third this weekend will be an accomplishment. So yeah, I'm just going for the Forest win.
I'm not sure Forest is winning this game. I think Forest is the better team here. Goal difference +7. Newcastle just a 0 goal difference. So, and now they go on the road where they haven't played that well. 3 straight games without a win. Um, so I'm not sure Newcastle's winning this game. Also not sure Forest is winning this game. Um, so now if you want to tell Sergio, take Forest. I
Yeah,
don't think.
yeah, if you hesitate, go for the home team
Yeah,
or
go
the
for the home
highest.
team.
But yeah, I'm going for the home team this day.
All right. Next up, United hosting Leicester City. United wins set at 1.42. Leicester City wins set at 7.5. Line total goal set at 3.5. Now, this will be the first game for United's new coach. Listen, man, I don't think it will make that much of a difference. Sometimes they sack a coach like they sacked Ten Hag because the team's underachieving and he's doing a poor job. Now, I think both were the case here, but sometimes it also has to do with the players. And I don't think United has great players at the moment. Actually, I'm pretty positive they don't have great players. But then again, Leicester City is not a great team. So these teams already met in the cup a couple of weeks ago. United won. Both teams scored. I can see that happening again. United wins and both teams score. But just long term for United, I don't think the coaching difference will be that huge. I think they will have to get new players, fresh blood, better players. Which way are you going here?
Uh, I think they still need better players, like you said. But this game against Leicester, they will win. Yeah, pretty sure it will at home. New coach, they haven't lost in 3 or 4 games. Yeah, so yeah, I think this will be a win and maybe the change for them. The over 3.5, I think that's risky, but United win, but still a little bit too low. The
Yeah, and the first game was a 5-2 win. They haven't lost in three. The first against Leicester City was a 5-2 win, so 7 goals. And like you saw in Liverpool also played Brighton in the cup, then turned around and played them in the league. You saw 5 goals in the first game, but then only 3 goals in the second game. So the line's a bit inflated, the over 3.5. So I'm not taking the over 3.5. But I do think United will win. Maybe give Leicester City a goal. All right. Next up, Chelsea hosting Arsenal. Chelsea wins set at 2.88. Arsenal wins set at 2.55. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with Arsenal at the moment. They just look toothless, man. Back-to-back games where they haven't scored. And uh, if you look at the games, they haven't really come close to scoring. Like, I know against Inter, tough matchup against Newcastle, on the road also tough, but uh, going on the road against Chelsea, not that much easier. So, which way are you going here?
Yeah, and of course, Chelsea hasn't won a game against Arsenal in a while. So yeah, I'll just go for the Chelsea. I think that they're in better form. They're playing at home. Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. Arsenal isn't playing that far away, so it's still London. But yeah, but still, I think at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea will at least try to get a win after a while from their city rival.
Yeah,
Uh,
and the only game Chelsea lost at home was first game of the season against Manchester City. After that, no home losses, while Arsenal only 1 win in their last 6 road games. So that kind of spells trouble. And not only have they only won 1 game in the last 6, which was against Preston in the EFL Cup. Like I said, not sure we're counting those. Um, but they were kept scoreless in 4 of those games. So that also spells trouble. All
yeah,
right.
yeah, I think they lost it at the end of last season. It started. So yeah, and now yeah, and now it just keeps going. So they're level on points, but still, I'll I'll just go for a Chelsea win.
All right. That wraps up the Premier League. Let's get to Serie A. First game, Venezia hosting Parma. I'll just be quick. Not a game I'm betting. Are you doing something there?
Yeah, that was quick. No, no, but I agree. It's a game you can really just skip. At least, or you can go for a draw. That will happen, I think. But other than that, no, it's not a game to bet on.
All right. Next up, Cagliari hosting AC Milan. Cagliari wins set at 5.25. AC Milan wins set at 1.71. A line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, like we already said, AC Milan surprising win against Real Madrid, a 3-1 win. Um, but I do think this is a good spot for them. Cagliari lost 3 straight games, only scored 1 goal across those 3 games. So not in great form, obviously, against a good and AC Milan team that's should have a lot of confidence. Beating Real Madrid, 1 loss over the last 5 games. That was against Napoli, where they were kept scoreless. Obviously, Cagliari is not keeping AC Milan scoreless in this game. The thing that concerns me here is 3 straight road games for AC Milan. Last weekend against Monza on the road. Then you go on the road against Real Madrid. And now you're on the road again against Cagliari. But I still think they're the better team. Four better. So even though they're playing on the road, I have to back them here. Which way are you going?
Yeah, if you don't go for the win, you can at least go for the over 2.5. You know, you get the same odd. So I think I'll go for the over 2.5. Yes.
Yes. All right. Next up, Juventus hosting Torino. Juventus wins set at 1.63. Torino wins set at 6.25. Line for Torino set at 2.5. Now this is a game where I just have to take the under 2.5. All right. Like Juventus, I know they've allowed 7 goals on the season, but 6 of those goals kind of came in 2 games, right? They played a 4-4 and a draw against Juventus, and then a 2-2 draw against Parma. So 6 out of the 7 goals just came in 2 games. That means the other 9 games they've allowed just 1 goal. And a team like Torino, I don't think Torino scoring this game. Also, the last time Torino beat Juventus in a road game was 1995. So obviously that's not happening here. Give me Juventus for a win, not taking the over 2.5, taking the under 2.5. Which are you going here?
Yeah, I think the under 2.5. Yeah, that's like you said, but I still think it's a possibility for Juventus to score just a little bit more against Torino. So I'll go the other way. I'll just go for the win for Juventus because for the under 2.5, you know, you get the same odd. So yeah, I'll just go for a win for the Juventus.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not like going the other way. I'm just saying like I'm expecting the under 2.5 goals here. I will play both, not in a parlay, but I will play both. But I like Juventus to win more. Like I said, back 1995, the last time Torino won at Juventus, and obviously a derby. So the head-to-head matchup, the history says something. All right. Next up, Atalanta hosting Udinese. Atalanta wins set at 1.42. Udinese wins set at 8. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, this is a game where I like the over 2.5. Atalanta, a team that scores a lot, even against teams that defend well. Scored 3 goals against Napoli. They only scored 2 against Stuttgart, but now 3 straight games where they kept a clean sheet. So I expect goals in this game. Give me the over 2.5 goals. Which way are you going here?
Over 2.5. Yes, I agree. Let's do that for the Atalanta win. Yeah, you don't get a lot on the win. I don't think Udinese will win. So I'm also going for the over 2.5.
Yeah, although not a big difference, 1.65 versus 1.42. So not a huge difference in backing Atalanta for a win. All right. Next up, Roma hosting Bologna. Roma wins set at 2.15. Bologna wins set at 3.75. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, another game where I'm just looking at the under 2.5. Yeah, I know last game in Roma, at least in Serie A, 5 goals, lost 3-2 against Verona. But other than that, you don't see a lot of goals in the Roma games. The other outlier was the 5-1 loss against Fiorentina. And again, if you look at Bologna, last 4 games, no game where we saw more than 2 goals. So I'm not sure we're seeing a lot of goals in this game. And both teams have scored 12 goals on the season. Roma in 11 games, Bologna in 10 games. So we shouldn't see a lot of goals. Give me the under 2.5. And if I watch Roma play, I'm not sure I want to back them even at home. Which way are you going here?
Yeah, especially not the game they played in Europe. Yeah, that was yeah. I expected a little bit more. So I'm even thinking thinking of a Bologna win, but yeah, that will maybe be a little bit too much. So I'll just go for the over 2.5 here.
I'm not sure that will be too much. Bologna has lost 3 games on the season. No, sorry, 4 games. One against Monaco, one of the best teams in France at the moment. The other one was against Aston Villa, where Aston Villa was in good form, and obviously for Aston Villa is a good team, even though they're on a bad streak at the moment. Another loss against Liverpool and another loss against Napoli. So Roma is nowhere close to those one of those four teams. So I can see Bologna winning this game. Heavy underdog, so not making this a best bet, but I will take it as an upset. So sprinkle something on Bologna.
Okay, I think I'll do the same.
All right. Next up, Fiorentina hosting Verona. Fiorentina wins set at 1.44. Verona wins set at 7.5. Line for Zorgo set at 2.5. Now, Fiorentina were on a hot streak, very hot, too hot. They got burned against Apoel Nicosia. Um, so now that's football. Now they go home, host a Verona team that hasn't been great. They've had some upset wins. Of course, they won against Roma, and surprisingly, also they won against Napoli. First game of the season, 3-0. But those were just two outliers, man. Those were like two of the three wins they have on the season, and all three. Sorry, I think no, four wins. Two out of four wins they had all season. Three of those wins came at home. One was on the road against Genoa. Every other game they've just straight out lost. Not even one draw. So Fiorentina just has to win this game, right?
Yeah, Fiorentina win, but I'm leaning more towards the over 2.5. I think that's a better play. I'm just I'm going for the over 2.5.
All right. Next up, Monza hosting Lazio. Monza wins set at 4.7. Lazio wins set at 1.84. Line for Turco set at 2.5. Now, Lazio, another team that's just red hot, man. One loss in the last, was it like 10 games? Probably even more. That was just a 1-0 loss against Juventus. Every other game, they've just straight out won, scored at least twice in every game. And I think it will be the same here. So give me Lazio over 1.5 goals. I also think that they will win this game because I don't think Monza can score that much. They can't score and keep up with Lazio. They've scored 10 goals over 11 games, so average less than a goal a game. So obviously they're not scoring twice here, and that's what you will have to do if you want to beat Lazio here. Even won against Porto in the Europa League, so Lazio is just on fire. You can't go against them. Which way are you going here?
Yeah, no, at the 1.84, I think that's a bargain. So I'm going for the Lazio win, definitely. Yeah, like you said, I can't see Monza winning or even scoring more than one goal. So yeah, I agree. Lazio win.
All right, next up, Inter hosting Napoli. Inter wins set at 1.89. Napoli wins set at 4.25. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Napoli, they were on fire. They got burned by Atalanta 3-0. Not that surprising. Like we said, Atalanta also a good team. And we kind of were on the over 2.5 goals last week. The lean was also towards Napoli. Didn't expect Atalanta to win, but the how Napoli was winning games is like they were keeping teams scoreless, right? If you look at the previous like 7 games they had won, they had only allowed one goal against Como. Atalanta, a team that scores a lot. So if you want to beat Atalanta, you're going to have to score more than once. And as we saw in the game last week, Inter is another team where if Napoli wants to beat Inter, especially Inter playing at home, they're going to have to score at least twice. And I can see Napoli scoring twice against Inter. So give me Inter for a win. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I think it's Inter, they can take the top spot in the league if they win this game. And I think that's going to be their motivation to win this one. Napoli, I think, against Atalanta, the loss there at home, maybe damaged their confidence a bit. And now going away against Inter, the challenger for the title, so to say. So yeah, I'm going for the Inter win. I think it will happen this weekend.
Yeah, and Inter also has the better players. I also think Napoli were kind of overachieving with the players they have over the last few games. So is going to take Inter for a win. We agree there. Now that wraps up Serie A. Let's get to the Eredivisie. First game, Groningen hosting Sparta. Groningen wins set at 2.75. Sparta wins set at 2.85. Line for the goal set at 2.5. Groningen just got smashed last week. Sparta, like you said, and they fired their coach. They had a new coach last week, but that didn't pay off. And like I said, sometimes it's the coach, but sometimes it's just the players. They don't have great players. Groningen they haven't won in a while. Like I said, we're not counting the cup games. So the one against Kolping Boys, the 5-1 win, doesn't say anything. Not sure anyone has heard of Kolping Boys. So Groningen winless for a long stretch. Last game they won was back in August, and that was the 17th of August. So that was let's say that was match day 2. That was match day 2. We're now so which way are you going here?
Yeah, but Sparta also haven't won in a while. The win against USV
Hercules.
yeah, will not count that one also. But to look on the bright side, Sparta, they have a new coach, Maurice Stijn, and he was successful with them in the past. So I think that's why they chose him again, to turn things around there. But I'm Groningen, they haven't won in such a long time, and now they're playing at home. And Sparta, also one of the teams that has trouble winning. So I'm I'm just gonna gamble it and go for Groningen win again. Because I thought it was gonna happen 2 games ago. It didn't. And I mean the Eredivisie then. So yeah, now it has to happen now. They're playing at home, so I'm just going for the Groningen win again.
Groningen hasn't scored in 3 of the last 4 games. And if you don't count the win against Kolping Boys, they haven't scored in 3 straight games. So they have trouble there. But I also agree with you. Sparta also has a lot of issues. So it's a huge gamble. But listen, like we said, home team Groningen. Let's just go for the home team. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, PEC hosting Fortuna. PEC wins set at 2.75. Fortuna wins set at also 2.75. Line for the goal set at 2.5. PEC, they were up 2-0 against Go Ahead Eagles. Obviously, they couldn't hold on to the lead. Picked up a draw. So good result for them. Fortuna started well, and then they had a rough stretch where they couldn't win, couldn't score. Now 6 straight games without a loss. 4 wins. So have they turned things around again?
Yes, I think they turned things around, and I think Zwolle is one of the teams that Fortuna likes to play against. So I think I'll just go for a Fortuna win here. Yeah, Fortuna win. Back Zwolle, just 1 win in the last 6. Yeah, 2 draws, but I think Fortuna is just that little bit better.
Yeah, but Fortuna 1 win in the last 6 road games, and that one was the last one, most recent one against the Trevors. So not counting that one. So I'm not sure Fortuna can go on the road and beat even a horrible team. So I'm kind of leaning towards a draw here. If I were to play something here, it would be a double chance for Fortuna because I still think they're a little bit better than PEC, but leaning heavily towards a draw, so probably will take a double chance. All right. Next up, Breda hosting PSV. Breda wins set at 9.5. PSV wins set at 1.3. Line for goal set at 3.5. Now, you just have to go for the over 3.5 goals here, right?
Yeah, over 3.5. That's one of the bets of the weekend also for me. Yeah, over 3.5 at 2.08. I think it's the best option for this game. So I'll just go for the over 3.5 here.
Yeah, and obviously PSV will win this game.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, RKC hosting NEC. RKC wins set at 4.5. NEC wins set at 1.86. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, RKC first win in the Eredivisie, beating Almere City, but that shouldn't say anything because they're still below Almere City, still last in the league. Well, NEC is coming off just a dominant win over Groningen, 6 goals, a 6-0 win. Still not sure you want to back NEC going on the road. 1 win in the last 5 games, and they haven't scored in 4 of those games. But RKC just a horrible team, man. The win against Almere City shouldn't say anything. So don't really have a pick in this game. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I think you just have to go for NEC. The beating they gave Groningen, I'm sure that gives them a lot of confidence. And Groningen is still a much better team than RKC. So yeah, I'm just going for NEC win again. RKC they won against Almere City, like I said. Yeah, but I am afraid that that's the only game they're gonna win in a while. So yeah, yeah. But I am just going for NEC win.
All right. Uh, I somewhat agree with you, but not sure I really like that one. Okay, let's get to the next game. Almere City hosting Feyenoord. Almere City wins set at 10. Feyenoord wins set at 1.34. Line for the goals set at 2.5. I think Feyenoord will win this game. Not sure. Almere City scores in this game, so I'm not really on the over 2.5 goals and backing Feyenoord the low odd. Maybe you want to parlay Feyenoord with Feyenoord wins, PSV wins. That should give you a good odd. Which way are you going here?
Yeah. I think the over 2.5, maybe 1.66. I think it's a good one. So I think the over 2.5 is a interesting one here.
All right. Next up, Heerenveen hosting Go Ahead Eagles. Heerenveen wins set at 2.55. Go Ahead Eagles wins set at 2.8. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Heerenveen, they just can't seem to win on the road. Again, not counting the cup game against IJsselmeer Vogels, the Birds. So Heerenveen at home, they've been playing well. They haven't lost yet at home, but Go Ahead Eagles, it's a solid team. 3 straight road games where they haven't lost. Even picked up a draw against AZ, and before that 2 straight wins. So not sure I'm backing Heerenveen. Another game where I'm kind of leaning heavily towards a draw. Which are we going here?
No, I'm going for the Heerenveen win here. Losing against Fortuna, yeah, that can happen. It was an away game. But I'm just going for the Heerenveen win at home against Go Ahead Eagles. Yeah, that's a must win because if you want to win home games, Go Ahead Eagles is definitely one of them at 1 point, or let's say 2.55 for Heerenveen win. Yeah, or the over 2.5 if you want to play it safe. But I'm just going for the Heerenveen win.
Yeah, it's a must win. I'm not sure it's a will win. All right. I would kind of agree with you. Like I said, I'm leaning heavily towards a draw, but if you have to go, and obviously there can be a winner, and if I had to pick a winner, it would be Heerenveen. So play a double chance for Heerenveen. That would be my play. All right. Next up, Twente hosting Ajax. Twente wins set at 2.55. Ajax wins set at 2.85. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, this has to kind of be an easy over 2.5 goals, right? Ajax, great form, just very, very good form. And you look, Twente, they're a good team, top 5. But if you kind of look closely, they don't have one good win. Like if you want to count their wins, okay, against NEC, against Heerenveen, against Almere City, against Breda, and then against Heracles, and then against Willem II. So show me one good win. Not sure they're winning this game. Actually, I'm all over Ajax, and the thing I like is Ajax over 1.5 goals. Ajax and just scores a lot. They're in great form. If you look at the last, what's it, 8 games, only 1 game where they have scored less than 2 goals, where they've scored 1 goal. So give me Ajax over 1.5 goals. One of my best bets. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm not that sure. Ajax, I think, of course, yeah, 6 straight wins. Yeah, that's impressive. But still, the win against Feyenoord, the win against PSV, I think they got a little bit lucky against PSV. PSV two big chances for the 3-1 and didn't do it. So yeah, Twente at home. Yeah, that's a difficult one. So I think I'll just go for a double chance, Twente, or maybe just over 2.5. But I will. I don't think it will be that easy for Ajax.
No, I don't think it will be easy, but Ajax can score. And the thing that concerns me is still their defense. I know they haven't allowed a goal in 4 of the last 5 games, but still they haven't played teams that. Okay, they've played PSV in Feyenoord during that stretch, but like you said, PSV scored twice, had a lot of chances to score the third goal, keeping Feyenoord scoreless. Kind of an outlier, but the other games against Karabakh, Willem II, and Maccabi Tel Aviv, not teams that really have firepower offensively. So they weren't really challenged defensively. I still think they have some issues, but they can score, and that's why I'm making the over 1.5 goals my best bet. And you're also expecting over 2.5 goals. You're not expecting Twente to keep Ajax scoreless here, right?
No, that's not what. But I think that it will be a close game and maybe even a Twente win.
All right. Give me Ajax over 1.5 goals. All right. Next up, AZ hosting Willem II. AZ win set at 1.52. Willem II win set at 7. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Another game where the odds not low, but obviously not high, 1.52. But AZ playing at home. They haven't won a while in the Eredivisie. Of course, they won against Fenerbahce. But before that, man, they had, what is it, like 7 straight games without a win. So now you're playing at home against a team like Willem II. You just have to win this game. And they played some good teams during that stretch. Lost to Utrecht, Athletic Bilbao, PSV, Tottenham, Feyenoord. So kind of a rough stretch. Schedule kind of softens right now, a team like Willem II. So you just have to win this game, right?
Yeah. I think AZ will just win this one. But yeah, I'm gonna skip this one. I don't think it's a really interesting game for me this weekend.
I think 1.5 for a team that I think Ajax will win. So 1.5, I like that. All right. That wraps up the Eredivisie. That wraps up all picks and leans for this weekend. Quick recap for our best bets. I have Leverkusen halftime, full time. I have City for a win. I have Lazio for a win. I have Juventus for a win. Ajax over 1.5 goals. I'm going to parlay Feyenoord with PSV. I have AZ for a win and also Real Madrid halftime, full time. Which way are you going here?
Yeah, I have West Ham for a win, Brentford, Real Madrid over 3.5, Villarreal over 2.5. I have Sevilla for a win, Atletico Madrid for a win, and Athletic Bilbao for a win.
All right. Now that wraps up all picks and leans for this weekend. And like we always say, guys, bet smart, bet with your head, set your limits, and stay within your means. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, good weekend, everybody.